Hey, this is Judgment Waits playing some Modern Warfare 3, and I've got 3 clips for you, all with a shotgun. I'm running the spaz in all 3. In the first clip, I'm going to be running it in a hardcore game, and in the last 2 clips, I'm running it in regular core team deathmatch. Now, my favorite shotgun is a spaz, and I wanted to show you how that matched up and compared to the other shotguns. So I've got this handy little dandy chart right here in the bottom, and you can see all the shotguns are listed for Modern Warfare 3. Now, the only disclaimer I have for this is the striker got some tweaks done to it, and I haven't received the updated information for that. So I'm not exactly sure if that is correct. So I think they may have taken the power down on it, the damage, and maybe tweaked something else as well, but this is pretty close. Now, as you can see, you've got the semi-auto group, the full auto, the pump action. Those are the 3 basic types of fires for shotguns, and here I get a nice twofer. Obviously, the spaz is a pump action shotgun, and I just think there's something manly about using a pump action shotgun. You're going to be at a disadvantage most of the time, especially compared to the striker or something that's semi-automatic, but I just like I said, the way it makes me feel. If you're running shotguns in hardcore, do yourself a favor, use the support class, run UAV and vests only, because you're going to be able to get to the vest more often, put them on, and they're going to save your life, especially when in hardcore, whoever gets the first shot off usually is the winner. But with that vest, you even the playing field a little bit. Also, stick to areas that are high traffic. You notice I'm staying in this building, I'm really listening to see if I can hear anybody coming. As soon as you get out into the open areas, you're just going to be a sitting duck, and they're just going to take you down from a distance. Back to the chart, though. So, we talked about the type of fire. You have 2 choices if you're going pump action with the spaz or the models, and if you don't want to go pump action, you can go the USAS, the KSG, or the striker, which are all semi-automatic, which means you can get that second shot a lot faster. And a lot of times, if you miss with that first shot with your spaz or model, you're going to be dead. So that kind of adds the some fun for me, though. All right, on to playing some core game modes, and this is on Oasis, and I think the second one is on bootleg. But once again, I'm going to stick to these high traffic areas and try to get some kills. Now, as far as capacity, the striker is kind of in the middle of the road. It has 8, the USAS and the models there have 6 and 7 rounds. Your KSG and striker start with 12 rounds. So, kind of middle of the road here. The thing about these spaz is it seems like it's a one-shot kill most of the time, as long as you hit that first time. Whereas a striker, it seems like you almost got to hit them a couple times with it. So, the 8 rounds is pretty good. I always run extended mags on my shotguns just so I don't have to worry about reloading as often. Now, here's the interesting thing: damage, close and long. You can see where they all stack up, but that close and long, that amount in there is per pellet. So, I'm assuming that these shotguns are running, double-aught, triple-aught buckshot. They're obviously not running slugs because they're shooting out, the pellets. So each pellet will do that damage. Close up, it'll do that, and at a distance, it'll do the second number. So you can see that the spaz does great, 25 damage per shot. That's why a lot of times you can take somebody out in one shot. It has 8 pellets. You gotta look at the pellets per shot coming out. The spaz has 8 pellets coming out every time you shoot, and each of those 8 shoots has 25 damage. So you've got 200 damage if you hit somebody with every pellet. Now, those pellets do spread apart in a spray pattern, so you have to keep that in mind. At a distance, though, you can see the spaz really suffers, but that doesn't take into account when that distance changes. And the spaz seems like it has a really good distance, as far as keeping that 25 damage. I don't know when it drops off down to the 5. But for the spaz, it seems like that's a pretty good distance. Now, your striker, that does 25 up close like the spaz, and it does 15 at a distance. But it seems like that distance, how far it is away that it switches to 15 is a lot closer than it is for the spaz. So you'll see the spaz doing well, at a distance, even though that, it has a 5 damage there. So the close and long distance damages, that's a little bit misleading because you got to figure out where the shotguns, actually switch from close to long damage and how far that is, and it's different for each of the shotguns. So keep that in mind when you're looking at this. The models have great damage up close and at a distance, and some of the other ones drop down like the Spaz and don't have that. But play around with them, see what you like. You also see, like, that next one that we already talked about is that pellets per shot. The Spaz has 8, which is one of the higher ones. Some of the other shotguns only have 6. And there you've got your raise time, your drop time. That's how fast you're going to pull it up to sight down it and how fast you're going to drop it to take off running. Lastly, you have your reload times. Obviously, the ones that are lower, it's because you're putting in one shell at a time, and so that's how long it takes to do that. Your other ones like the USAS and the AA-12, you're actually putting in a magazine, and that's going to be like reloading a normal gun. So hopefully this gives you an idea on how the shotguns compare and shakedown compared to each other. Try them out if you don't normally use them. I think you're going to have some fun. Now, the only reason I put this in here is just because, still on a streak, and I get a funny kill here at the end. So I picked up a PP90. Always good to have some kind of machine pistol as your secondary when you're running shotguns, just so you can shoot people at a distance. But here's the final kill. Hope you like this. As always, though, take care and God bless.